there are a lot of elderly people that we really love. We didn't want to let them down. We were scared to. And we needed a reason, because every time we'd see them, you know, it was just this like, it was like the grandparents I never had, and then the mother that, you know, had died. And so a lot of them were familiar spirits, and I could feel the goodness inside. But then when it would come to a certain topic or a political encounterment, then it would be so hypocritical to what in the contrast of what they're really even supposed to be reading or acting like in this program. Yeah. So I started wondering how many people even read the Bible, or how many people just look at the paper that the pastor passes out, or the verse they put up on the board or the screen. Pulled our daughter out of school. She was getting hurt at the school over there. Hurt by a little boy. Yeah. And
the teacher's supposed to watch your kid, because you put, you know, you put your kid
this is at a
watched, but they don't do their job right.
This is at a Christian school. She gets yeah. Anyways, but so I forgive all of that, and I was so glad that I was able to learn what I did, because I could open the Bible and then I could go and open another book, and I would get the same, I was being told the same thing over and over and over. And that was, there's that God, my inner voice, that God was within me. When I started seeing the passages that said, be still and remember that I am God. I remember asking Austin, I was like, because the word that was even written different. And it was like a little, it's like you could tell where the words were changed in the Bible almost, or
you click and you get it going, okay, something's off.
Yeah. And I was like, that I am God, like that one? Or is it like that I am God? And so that started clicking. My daughter, who was attending that school over there, she understood the concept of Yeshua. I don't like saying Jesus because of what I've studied and learned about the last part of the name Zeus, meaning swine, and Hail Zeus.
This was better.
Yeah, Yeshua. So we have a connection with each other through all of our energetic bodies. And the more that we heal the more that we heal ourselves, we can heal one another. So Austin and I said, okay, we recognize that I am God within us. We recognize by listening to these other books, the universal laws and principles, the law of attraction. We recognize that we are creators, and we're here to create and enjoy life. We're not here to feel guilty and scared and all of these lower vibrational feelings. We're here but we will, if that's what we ask for. We have free will. So our children and us have kind of been really tried by a lot of these things, and we're watching other people go through these things, and it's like parallel timelines, you know, where we just started speaking things recently, the past few years. We always had faith, but we were putting our faith into an external source instead of our internal source. And though there is both, you have to use you have to balance that, but believe in yourself and not die. Not die to, the way they say you have to die to yourself is that you have to die to the material things. You have to let go of the mass, the weight, the heaviness, the entities. So when I was able to heal my gut. I was able to heal what they called, what is it, Charlotte, Hashimoto's
Yes,
thyroid
you
eye.
looked off that. Now it's down. You barely, yeah,
And
true.
so once I learned everything is about what you're putting into your body, I then was able to find more healing through using the law of attraction, we did go through the church stuff, and like I really wanted to make a point with that we learned some really great spiritual teachings, but we also recognized where the ones that were removed were as well.
Yeah.
And we also recognized that, you know, there was just so much hypocrisy going on in all of these different groups, and it was almost like the high school clique.
Oh,
Even when you
man.
would go to church, and it's like, oh, okay, I didn't know that that's how church was supposed to be. Just like, oh, I would be smiling sometimes more than even some of the people that worked there. And so we definitely had to deprogram and not feel guilty or ashamed by stepping into our sovereignty. And I can speak for myself. I had shared with Charlotte about being sovereign and how at first it may seem a little scary, because you're having to, if you have always believed that God was the one that created and made choices for you, and that God was going to give you a punishment or something like that. In this, like, yeah, this total, we're actually finding out now more that these are called seals and implants. And these
Oh,
are,
man.
yes.
Like I
So
expressed in my interview of that seal on stamp that I got from they had diploma. Yeah. People have to know
yeah,
more than that. You have to know more than that. You guys be surprised what's being put upon us with those.
it's a broken system that is only applicable to those that created it. It only works for the ones that created it. And then the ones, unfortunately, that think they're helping by working in the systems, they're actually being put into hypnosis in a sense, which is what is supposed to be used as a method of healing, not of manipulation.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
hypnosis is not to be used as a weapon, but they've modernized it into a weapon, and they've used mass media to create and provoke an extreme amount of fear, confusion, and then all this they're bombarding us with so much truth all of a sudden. Though it is good, some of it you have to step back from for a while, especially politics, because I know I for a while had gotten involved in the election. And so just these different things, my higher self though has always been there and was integrating with me. And so when I felt like I had multiple personalities, that was because I was shedding these other entities. There were other entities, there were other things telling me what to do. There was technology inside of me that was spying. There was a blockade on my
I
third
remember
eye.
removing that. Yeah.
Yeah, there was addictions, there was sexual trauma, and
heart pain issues, and yeah,
yeah,
removing
I
that
had
off of you. I remember that.
heart
Yeah.
palpitations. Those of us that, so as Charlotte had asked about how I got involved with the singing bowls, it was so that way the children could learn how to heal themselves and how to use their highest crystalline frequency, because they're pushed into these little, and my daughter, we're lucky she goes to a great school. She has, for right now, it's the best that, you know, we've got. And Charlotte and I are hoping that we can build a school.
We will. I see it.
Yeah, and it's just so liberating when you yourself teach your children And I did it. I mean, I get it that it is difficult for some parents that have to work, and I've been very blessed to always have the means and the opportunities that present themselves, so that way my husband works and then I'm working from home, and it just has always worked out to where I can be more involved in their lives right now and preserve their innocence. So they don't get to partake sometimes in these normal activities, and I sometimes look like I'm this very, like strict mom when it comes to eating.
You're not,
which-
you're just reading them and you know what they need and know what's in the food too.
And which I noticed with the autism, it's all coming from overstimulation from all of these different radio waves. And then it's coming from the sugar, the artificial intelligence that is also pumped into their bodies.
Yeah.
And
sugar's
other,
real.
yeah. And
But
so
it's the fruit stuff, but not what we eat now. Really, it's so chemical. It's not.
it's
fake.
a joke. It's like a
Yes, there's stuff in
chemical
it.
warfare. It's a nuclear chemical warfare going on within our micro hollow biome.
Yeah.
And what we cannot see the attack is on is inside of our gut, inside of our adrenal gland, inside of our pineal gland, inside of our thyroid. And if the people in society focus more on healing themselves, then there wouldn't need to be any external resources that are these big corporations, the big puppets, we call them the dark puppets that like to control or say that their medicine is,
They know what's best for you, but you can't figure out your body. Come to them.
yeah. And if you aren't, then shame on you. And
Which is funny because I think that's partly how you found Aura,
Mm-hmm.
right? You want to tell us how you got into Aura, found her and stuff?
Yeah, I found Aurora from after doing the nutrition and learning how to eat and learning how to kind of like get my own family in alignment. I was able to get myself first in alignment, and then everything else started falling into place after that. I realized that the weight that I had lost during this diet and during this, I don't like calling it a diet either, but
your way of eating, it's better for your body because you get clear and you live longer till you look younger.
Yes. And so if everything is a frequency, and foods are lower frequency, if there's certain foods like artificial intelligence that is inside of anything that is genetically modified, they'll change the labels to try to trick people into thinking if they say sugar-free or gluten-free, run from those things.
It's not even real. It's even the sugar that's in food stuff now is not real.
I found Aurora after I found Dr. Gundry.
Yes.
Dr. Gundry was the first to share about the health, about how we were hacked. And so we were hacked with the foods and the food pyramid and the nutrition courses and the ways that the doctors were even taught how to teach people. The doctors in the modern Western culture medicine were taught how, if a patient asks, they would say, okay, well, if you're having severe intestinal overgrowth, bacterial overgrowth, or SIBO, or you're having some type of, they would just prescribe this diet or prescribe this pill or prescribe this they don't have to have more than, I think, 12 hours of nutrition. And
That's what I was
that's,
told. Yeah, 10 or 12. Yeah, I was told that too.
yeah.
They're like, oh,
Some,
wow, it's scary.
so I have myself have over 200 hours and will have over 300 hours by the end of, as I'm moving up more as a holistic nutritionist. But when, after I lost this weight, I, and had my physical change, in internal change, I remember I kept telling people when they say that doesn't even look like you, it was like it was a whole other entity attached to me. And so I kept saying it was spiritual weight that I lost, but I didn't understand until I started saying, okay, well, what's my purpose as a woman and in the church? And I started asking Mary Magdalene. Then I found the Sophia code, and then I found Sophia, more and more about wisdom. Started learning that wisdom was a her, and that God is not just he.
They all sit on a throne someplace.
Yeah, the Holy Spirit is supposed to be considered the woman, if people look at the Trinity, because who's missing with the mother, the father, yeah, the son,
which is balance.
And, yeah, and so when after I had that, I searched for the energy. I was self-healing.
Yeah.
I found Aurora, and I also looked for Cleopatra because I had such a strong calling to Cleopatra. And so I was like, okay, so it went from each part of my physical body, and almost like chakra, where I was coming and opening a new layer. And then that's when I found Aurora, Rising Phoenix Aurora, and I found Dolores Cannon as well. And so
brilliant books. You guys should get her, find her books, Dolores Cannon books, Amazon or whatever.
She is one of my guides.
Good for your bookshelf, guys.
I totally, the red bird. Oh, and you saw the red bird earlier too.
I did before this interview podcast. I know it's red bird over here in the trees. Yeah.
She comes
in for 5 minutes. Yeah.
She's came and visited me, especially when I was in New Mexico. She was one of the ones that, and that's why, I mean, she reminds me of my mother too. So it's a very familiar spirit. And even just the way they talk, and the way that so I have been very interested in learning the quantum healing technique, but I noticed that Aurora's technique included several other things, and that it was a little more detailed, and I felt a little bit better vibes from it. I felt like it wasn't so mainstream, kind of. And anybody that is certified in that, I think that it's all, each of our calling, we all have a different calling at a different time. And I'm not ever putting any other practitioners down or any other methods down. I just believe that all methods evolve, and that we include that evolution as more clients give instructions from their higher selves on what we should do. We include those, and the technique updates and changes as we learn more from the galactics, as we learn more. Aurora wrote a book, our teacher, and this is what
it's really deep. It's really deep, you guys. And you read it, you're going to get codes, you're going to be upgraded. Yeah, I mean, I had crown headaches, and when I found what it was doing, it was giving me like uploads, and I was seeing clearly. I remembering galactic wars and stuff, and I go, oh man, I'll be in the grocery store getting groceries, and all of a sudden, boop, get uploaded going. My husband's like, why are you getting dizzy? It's like, it's each different for everyone's different. But I think if we could start getting these collection of books that call to us, they call you for a reason. Dolores Cannon, for one. I have some of her collection of her books too. And or our mentors, our dear soul sister. when you read these, you will remember who you are beyond your sovereignty. You will be helping people. I'm getting shivers on this. This is really good stuff. Thank you. You need this collection to go to also to moments when you're dipping low, someone screaming in your calling you B word or A word.
Right.
You need to have that on hand to look at in moments when your family thinks you're nuts, you're coming forward, you know, your authentic self is what Ashra and I want to help the collective and for the children. And these books too are going to go into our, I want to say school library, but it's going to be in our library. And which is what I was going to ask you your thoughts of the future for the children in the school system too. What are you going to think about the children? So now you and I have very, very same lines on that.
So yeah, we have seen this vision, I believe, for quite some time, and
6
now
months or so. Like that?
yeah, it's been coming into fruition though so much quicker now because there's so many other sisters that want the same thing and they're feeling the same thing. So what my vision is to have a new, I don't even want to say the word system, but I would like to have a training where there is a higher frequency
Yeah.
and a more sovereign and or not even okay, so sovereign is a word
Yeah.
used in the matriarch in the the queen uses that word. So I just recently found out that word. So we would like to have a freedom of choice of what we teach our children. We would like to be able to preserve their innocence and really preserve their innocence, meaning not washing out their minds with this brainwash garbage, and not feeding them all this junk food and making them go to school from these long hours where they're still tired, and then they're almost missing all their time that they could be running outside and playing.
You need the fresh air and no heavy backpacks. I am saying this, not sure, believe me on this. Kids will not be wearing these bulky, heavy backpacks on their growing bodies. That drives me nuts.
And I am actually, we will be, taking anybody that's interested in helping out. There's a lot of children now that are awakening and no, I'm sorry, they're awakening their parents and they're already like fully activated, but they are remembering their highest form when they come in. And then when they're being muted with some of these things, whether it's the environment, the television, the radio waves, the number and the letter technology, we have so much stimulation and they just need organic materials to function. They don't need all of this extra. They don't need all of the fluffy stuff. They need the true meat, and that is their inner strength. That is their
true soul print.
Yeah, they need to understand that hearing thoughts isn't schizophrenia.
It's not.
They need to understand that empathy and is not an actual illness that they're been diagnosed with, or it's not anxiety or severe depression or all of these bipolar. They need to know that this ADHD stuff is because of the radio waves they're not being able to break down. And we just see a little like forest that has like I think one of our other sisters described a tree having a tree, and inside of the tree we're gonna have a school inside of there, or like a little where we meet. It's like a big tree, and so it's like a natural organic school where
Yeah,
kids,
to nature, I think. Yeah.
they get to learn alchemy, they get to learn
Yes.
astrology, they
Yeah.
get to learn botany, they get to learn numerology, they get
Galactic
to
self,
learn the
the
law,
gifts.
the true laws of the universe, which is which,
Overdue.
yeah, I mean, they will get to understand what the grid is like.
Yes.
Will get to understand how to program their Merkabah field by,
The animals.
and yes, my children, I joke around with them, but my son, he, because of his beginning when he couldn't communicate as well as other as well for other people. I knew what he was saying, but when he couldn't communicate, that's why he was able so to clearly communicate with my husband and my daughter, and then I would just know and it would just happen. But he can, and my daughter can communicate with the birds and the eagles that are over
Yeah.
here.
Mhm.
And my son, has such a, so my father thinks that he's both of the kids, that, and not just because they're my kids or they're his grandkids, but that he's like more than a genius. And all of these kids that are now being, and my daughter as well, like she was supposed to be in kindergarten, she skipped to first grade, she's making A, she's bored there, but she's 6, I can't have her
Well,
being,
she's bored because she's like, there has to be more than this. This is such a limited area. What I'm learning, what I know. She's bored. She's gifted beyond. She's beyond. I want to honestly. She's beyond fourth, fifth. Though she's beyond fifth grade, my opinion. Reading your kids, they're beyond. But the schools want you to keep in this order fashion. This, you got to be in this box, and then you be at this age. You got to be in this box. You be in this box. No, kids don't fit the mold. They can be any direction they want, learning speed included. A lot of kids are so advanced, and just put them in this box saying, well, you're not gonna graduate 6th grade, you pass this. No, that's old thinking, to old pattern, and we need to, upgrade it.
break and send love to the old cycle, and send just really what my intention is to be the best mother, the best wife, twin flame, the best sister, the best
You
friend.
are.
Oh, thank you, sister. As you are, you're so sweet.
I'm a sister you didn't even know I wanted.
I remember I at the very beginning we met, and I remember we had a connection right away to a life where we were fairies, fae. It was or you said that you could tell that I was from another life where
we're fairies. I believe we're fairy sisters, and one of was your mama, and one of was your cousin, and one of was your priestess in Atlantis. But we're like so much. Anyway, we're gonna give.
yes.
No, people are personal business, but
So then when I found out that when I went in December to go get certified in Aura, because this is another thing, guys. A lot of people are scared to step out of the 3D jobs, and they can't see making it in a spiritual business. So I don't like using the word business, but
helping the collective.
When we're helping and using our heart and we're following our heart, we will always receive the proper guidance that we need. And so the children, they are guidance as well. They are little spiritual masters and teachers. And we can open so many new doors, new techniques, new adventures. But if we are not open to receive, and we are closed off by thinking only one way, we can only receive this one way, then that's going to be a possible pretty popular outcome. Like if you believe that there's only one way that something can come through, I can only make money from getting paid by this corporation. No, you don't have to. And money is such a you know, like we send love to energy for energy exchange. We take money for energy exchange, but other than that, it's just like everything else. There's plenty of it everywhere. But
Politicians,
actually, yeah,
they don't care. If
they
they cared, politicians, I'm sorry, sorry for going over your sister, but people don't realize politicians, they want the attention to themselves, what they're getting behind the scenes, how they can go and get money. If real politicians do what they said they were gonna do, we would not have homelessness.
no, well, and
We
you
would
know,
not have people poor. We would not be dividing each other. And that's
no,
the
and
truth.
they would know for sure how to, people would know for sure what to do when they got sick. They would know, hey, instead of taking antibiotics, I can take things like colloidal silver or activated charcoal. However, I am
Rosemary,
not,
lemon tincture, a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. Teas,
yeah, well,
comfrey
and then
tea. Yeah.
you so Charlotte and I, our intention in the school would be to teach these natural remedies. So that way you can go outside and just know, like a child, as I was doing when I was younger, probably making these things, not even realizing what they were. But I'll mix things together now, essential oils, and I'll go to the store. So
You
funny
gave me a
how
recipe for the one that you did for your finger. Yeah, you had a burnt finger. Yeah.
oh
And
yeah.
yeah. And she and I both, we share each other's recipes too. So yeah.
Yes, that this one is I had just burnt, you can't really tell right now.
Nice middle finger, girlfriend.
It's
Different
it's
hand.
my ring finger.
Yeah.
The the blister. So it's so crazy how if you put something over the counter on, it may take it away for a little while, but then it comes back. If you use something that's natural, it may take a little longer for it to go away, but it will take it completely away. And so when we're using, because we are trees, we are crystalline, basically we are trees. And so
our bodies, think about it.
yeah, it's like the tree of life, the Kabbalah. And being my name, Ashley, I like the vibration of Ashra, because we the Ra have come through so much and helped us so much from we learned about them from Austin and I learned about them from the Law of One. And
I had a lifetime. I did a client, the first one I did, I was talking to Anticontin, whatever, I can't say his name right, but I can't say it. Excuse me for saying it. That I talked to him, and he was and other people started the Power of One, and then I just, that's over a year or two ago video, but and that's where I realized I am part of the Raw. Raw. Our consciousness, our vibration, frequency, our energy. Yes. So that's why we call ourselves the Sisters of Ra.
Yes, that's where that comes from, which is basically the Ra is the sun, guys, and the sun is our true external source of light that is within us but without. And if we go outside and charge in it every day, then we can clear our body. If we play the singing bowls, we can reattune our natural frequency. And then when we use affirmations and words that are positive over doubtful, fear mongering, confusion, guilt words, we can create the highest vibration and lift our frequency and manifest things instantly. And healing comes so rapidly. Seriously, we've had this thing on my finger, I thought was going to be a little bit longer to heal, but now it's like everything, we're just healing so quick. what the dent, like when we go to the dentist, it's not even painful. We don't, yeah.
I had a tooth pulled out.
And it didn't even hurt, like
It didn't hurt.
And we we
Mhm.
stopped using these over the counter. I don't know, I mean, for myself at least, like stopped using. I don't think Charlotte, I think Charlotte's our, because she's a shaman, she's always known more of these remedies without like going and getting on Dayquil and Allegra. And I mean, I'm not going to list all of these things,
Yeah.
but let's just say that if you believe, you can receive.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe, if you ask first, you need to ask, you have to ask, and then you believe in your mind that it's already there, and you say thank you for this already happening. It's, you feel it as done. You feel
Yeah,
yourself
hold on to
heal.
17 seconds.
Yes.
Feel that frequency,
17
then you
seconds.
release it.
And here's the thing is, if you have patience in what you are manifesting, which this is how Esther Hicks explains this, is when you get in your car to drive to a location, you don't always sit there and say, my car's not going to make it to this location. I wonder if I'm going to make it to this location. I wonder when I'm going to, okay, you might need to know from GPS or something, but.
Or check the weather.
Or yeah, if the weather is bad, or if you run out of gas, I guess. But so there are, of course, external things that get in the way. But if you believe more in the things that are, if you can just see it as done now, and you can say, okay, well, I know that it's like growing a flower, growing a plant, growing, when you first plant the seed, you have it in a good spot where it's going to get sunlight, and you have it in a good vibration in the soil, and the alkaline or acidic, whatever, the Ayurvedic techniques teach a lot that's
they're good too. They're good.
Yeah. Yes. But that you're going to plant that seed, and you walk out there the next day, and you're not going to walk out to a full grown plant the next day.
Yeah,
it may take a little while for it to just do a little sprout, but over the course of time, it's going to grow. Mm-hmm. And so you continue to water it and give it love and the nutrients and nourishment that it needs. And so our ideas, our goals, our desires in life, they are like little thought babies. They're like little seeds that we plant, and then we go back to water them and make sure that like we are doing, we did our part, and then we just allow God, source, love to flow through and bring
the whom's, I call it sometimes, or collective.
Yes.
Our homies, galactic, the families, guides and guardians are with us because we're never alone. Yeah.
Mother Nature, I mean, allow yourself to receive abundance. Don't block and the frequency of love. Instead of trying to control everyone or everything, I just said, look, it's going to be better and better. Things get better and better. And they did. And
go on up. You rise on up. Because as soon as you get out of the box, knowing that you've been labeled, stamped, muted for reasons, when you get out of that box, you're like, wow, why was this thrown on me? Why is there a limit? Why did they not think that I can be an artist, which I know within somehow I could? Why make them think that my clairs are, woo-woo? You'll get it, you guys, you'll get it. But thank you so much, Ashra, for this wonderful, wonderful interview. It's going to be helpful for a lot of people too, as well, that are coming out of the, I say, starseed or awakening closet, because I think in these times, we really need to help each other and rise each other up, saying,
Yes.
no, you're not weird. You're not crazy, even though many eyes would have come across this, you're alone. You could be homeless. You could be, getting out of the church, or even thinking, okay, I had enough. I told my family off. Whatever direction, just know us sisters are raw. These videos are out because we want to share from the heart. As I said, you're galactic, you're strong, you're sovereign. We will help you rise up. We will help you. We are here for all of our brothers and sisters, no matter where you come from, what cultural background, which is a divide people put on us. So I thank you so much, Ashra, for this wonderful interview. And how can we get in contact with you?
Okay, so you can contact me at Ashra. My website is www.ashrahealing.com. And then I also have a Instagram and a Facebook, but we are currently working on our Sisters of Raw page as well, where we're going to include several of the events that are upcoming. We are planning on teaching a few classes and helping the children and anybody else, women, and just learning about psychic protection, learning about awakening your third eye and clearing your third eye, learning about which different frequencies to use for healing and sound healing, learning about which different nutrition, supplements, vitamins, what you can increase and what you can decrease in life to help you during these times of awakening and during these times of ascension, to make it a little bit easier and to make sure you get the best experience from this all. So ashrahealing.com, and then I look forward to working with you guys. We are in Florida. Well, Charlotte's going to be in Florida eventually.
In time.
And we're over here just watching this beautiful community grow and expand. And if anybody has any questions or my email, I can have Charlotte put I'll
in the description box
at the bottom. And if you have any desires and you want to help our movement in helping our children to become sovereign and helping to give them lessons with healing with sound, then go ahead and reach out and we will get you filled in on what you can or what you want to do. So thank you, Charlotte. Thank you so much for always being there, sister. You are so divine, and we thank our amazing other galactic family, angels, and of course, our most beautiful divine instructor, Aurora. And thank you for joining us today, guys. And we will see you here later on Sisters of Raw podcast.
See you guys later. Love yous.
Love you.